Hi everyone, this video will go over the 1-3-1 activity, the comparison template draft. So we're going to start with the assignment directions. For this activity, you're going to start working on your comparison template. The finalized template is not due until 2-4, so in week 2, section 4. So you're going to start by filling out questions 1 through 5 for 2 of your selected ads, and then you're going to make at least 2 comparison statements in row 4 and answer both prompts in row 5. Okay, so we're going to go through. I'm going to show you first the comparison template. So the comparison template that you are going to open will look like this. You notice at the top it has a section where you put the ads. So you're going to complete it for your first 2 advertisements. For 1 through 3, you are going to complete, so you're going to complete that whole section for your rough draft. How do the ads compare to each other? Here you will write at least 2 comparison statements. So compare 2 different things. Find things that are similar or different about the ads. And then in this last section, you're going to answer both of the prompts. What overall observations might a social scientist be interested in studying? So for this, you're going to make statements. A social scientist might be interested in studying these things. And then the second half of it is what larger questions about human interaction might they ask? So for the second part, you're going to be asking questions. So to show you a completed rough draft sample, this is a sample that I have created for you. This is what your rough draft should look like. It lists the ads, and then we write questions in these. So to give you a good visual, the first one is questions related to how individuals are represented in the ads. So you're going to ask questions about individuals. As a reminder, an individual is one person. So you're going to be asking a question about a person. For example, why was the man, notice a single person, in the beginning of the ad getting his briefcase out of the trunk as opposed to from inside the car? Or what is the woman hoping? So for this section, you're asking questions about a person, one person. For the second section, you are asking questions about how groups and group behavior is seen. So for example, why are so many people would be the group, in this advertisement using their phones? Or why are the celebrities? Why does everyone? So if you ask, why is this ad in German? You're asking a question about the ad and not about groups of people. So for this first one, remember you're asking a question about one person who was in the ad. For this one, you're asking a question about groups of people that you have seen in the ad. If the ad only has one person in it, it is still possible to ask about groups, because groups could be things like you could ask about men, you could ask about women, you could ask about children, you could ask about, like this one, celebrities. So it is possible to ask a question about groups even if you only see one person. This last section is questions about culture or cultural identity. So you're asking about culture and culture identity as opposed to asking about the advertisement or what marketing wanted people to think. You're asking more questions regarding culture. And in this section, again, you have to have at least 2 comparison statements. And then in the last part, the overall observations, the statements about that, and then the questions that could also be asked. So this is an example, and this is attached to the announcement. This is an example of what the comparison template rough draft should look like. So you're going to start with this, make sure you put your ads in here, and then answer the prompts. And again, you only need to do the first 2 advertisements. For the rough draft, only the first 2 ads will be looked at, and that's what you'll be graded on, is the first 2. Okay, so again, remember that you'll be submitting the rough draft this week, the final draft in week 2, and make sure that you have, in the first section, ask questions about a single person. The second one is about groups, then about culture. Make at least 2 comparison statements, And then in the last part, you're going to make those statements about what overall observations a social scientist may make, and then conclude it with the larger questions that a social scientist may ask. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope that this walkthrough of the rough draft is beneficial. Thanks.